My name is Olga Myrovych. I'm leading the LVIV Media Forum team. LVIV Media Forum is a media development organization based in Ukraine. Our largest project is actually a forum for journalists all around the world. Besides, we are doing many projects to support media in Ukraine and beyond, to foster cooperation between media professionals. We are running a support program for Ukrainian media outlets, which increases their viability, but also are focusing, for example, on specific topics like psychological support or counseling. Yeah, actually, disinformation was one of the key things that lie in the ground of this war. Disinformation prepared this baseline, yes, for the war. As for the Russian disinformation, it has spread malign narratives about Ukrainians and Ukraine as a failed state long before the full-scale invasion started. It also focused on the Donbass region that actually was taken from Ukraine forcibly in 2014. That's actually the year we are considering as the year when the war started. So we distinguish the war and the full-scale invasion. As for the disinformation issue now, it's targeting very wide audiences in Ukraine, in Russia, to continue, like to force people, not force, but to motivate people support this war. It's focusing on Ukraine, using some specific topics, internal topics inside Ukraine that might be very triggering for the Ukrainian society. I might say that Russian propaganda is very efficient in doing so. These propaganda messages target the audiences that don't trust in government, for example. That's how it works, for example, now in the wartime, and what makes it's more dangerous for our national security. But also propaganda adapts to the narratives, national narratives around the globe, and is also spreading in different countries to reduce solidarity and support to Ukraine. We have to understand that Western media are also imposed to Russian narratives. I wouldn't use the word propaganda in this case, but Russian narratives. I mean the narratives that help Russia avoid actually responsibility for this war. For example, recently in one of the British media, I read about Putin's camps for Ukrainian soldiers and civilians that are kept on the Russian territory. It was the word that was used to describe it was Putin's camps. But it's what, for example, makes an image that Russia is not involved in the war, that's like one person could be only responsible for the war. Also, what I widely discover is the usage of Ukraine's war, like Ukraine is somehow indirectly but blamed by being a side of this war. At least this builds an image that Russia is not the part of, and not the one that started this war, and the only one side that should be blamed for the war. So this we have to distinguish this propaganda and this narrative level, which is also heavily impacted by Russia. And I have to admit that not only state Russian media, but also civil society leaders that considered to be opposition and considered to be a part of the democratic Russia also spread many narratives that help Russia as a state, but also Russians and this as the society to avoid this war, which we see as very dangerous, because without taking responsibility, we have to admit that the society is the source of power in the state. Without, by breaking this chain, we actually break the ground of the political system of the state, of any state, both and I think that it is very dangerous, and we have to be sensitive to this. Language is very important, and these two types of malign narratives, both propaganda and malign narratives, soft language that is used, we have to be sensitive and to actually discover it in our everyday language we use to cover events for the audiences.